Okay, so what's going on here is this is just a cardboard pattern of various templates, and these will be, each individual piece here will be an individual piece of walnut in this case, and I will make these shapes, and these will be joined together, and then I will the idea here is that grain changes will be the subtleties, you know, and then I will, once that's all glued together and sanded flat, I'll resaw that into veneer pieces, probably 1/4 of an inch thick, and then you see over here, those will be laminated on my mold and create a bowed side to a lamp and a display. On the big bandsaw, made them about 1/4 of an inch thick over there, but they're too rough to laminate together and too thick. So I made a follow board here. It's just wafer board with some sandpaper glued to it, and that gives me the friction. So when I run these through the wide belt sander, the piece of veneer doesn't slide off. Taken all the bolts out, lifted the top section of the mold, and I've gone along with this and cleaned the epoxy off the side of the mold where it's run down and stuck. And now we're just going to take the components. This is just a little call sheet to keep mold clean mainly. So that's just a little piece of Formica. And now here's the piece we want. So that will come out pretty nicely. There's the bottom call sheet. Right. Here's the piece like that. It's going to sit somewhat like that. And then this is just the bottom piece. And there we have it. We're about 1 1/4 inches thick, solid wall. Mortise. Just need to square out the corners now, and this piece will fit in there.
I'm amazed at the many places offering to buy your gold. They have dancing clowns, chickens, or rabbits outside.
Templates for making the mortises. So the arms, these all have to be, the planes of these all have to be parallel. Otherwise the arms, some will be up and some will be down, and it just makes it difficult for the shelves then to make them all right. See here that I had to modify the router base a little bit. Could have used a plunge router, but I didn't want to ruin the base on that one and modify it. So anyhow, I've just used a couple of different lengths of straight router bits in a template guide. Okay, to get all the way through this deepest one. So it's, 3/16 to 1/4 of an inch at a time to get that mortise made. And you can see this router bit, when it's in there, I mean, it's extending out quite a ways, so you can't take a very heavy cut. But that's how it's done. And then again, I'll square up the corners and make a nice square mortise. Putting in a mortise, little mortise, and I'll have probably some Wenge wedges that'll go in there, and they'll pass each other inside, and so it'll be decorative. It'll stick out, and it'll pull this piece through the main mortise in that upright, and that will act as my clamp, and it'll hold it from falling out. So that's a tusk tenon, I think. Okay, so we've got the little mortise in there. We stick that in the big mortise, the big tenon in the big mortise, and then we put this wedge in there, kind of loosely. We've got another one, take up the gap on the other side, and we pull those together, and I have to tune it a little bit, but it's pretty close. And voila, it's going to be how we clamp it, and it'll hold it. This is a shelf that's been put together in the rough. This mortise sticks into the upright, and you can see this is beveled and this is all square, and what we're trying to do is get this to look like this. This is another of the same. You can see it's all been sculpted and everything flows together, and we do that, or I do that, mostly using this Arbortech tool right here with the insert teeth. Works very, very nice. Now's the good part. A couple of things I wanted to do here. I wanted to do a repeat on the, you can see the lines where curved glue lines are put together and gives it a bit more movement. But just some free hanging shelves that kind of defy gravity. It always kind of interesting to me when something looks like it's breaking the rules. It's essentially solid walnut. These are some through mortise and tenons with a tusk tenon that really is very key in holding those in. So the shelves are, they're actually made from 8/4, 2-inch material, but clearly that's too heavy. So I've made them look light, again, kind of breaking the rules, because, wow, it doesn't look like it'll hold anything up. But they're very, very tough because of what's going on underneath. And you can feel also it's nice to touch a thing and there's another aspect, and so there's a texture to this that when you feel it, it's just slightly bumpy and feels pretty nice. Shelves are all really supported by a through tenon. That's the only connection, and you can see this little black piece of wenge. That's a tusk tenon, I think is what it's called. That it's two wedges that go together and tighten up and suck that mortise tight in. In order for this to fall out of there, it's got to break that. And that tusk tenon that wenge is very, very tough. So what I envisioned for this is, if somebody has, a special photograph or a painting or a special book, a little 3-volume set by Winston Churchill or something, or a sculpture. You have enough space between these shelves where you can put something fairly large, and even on top here, sculpture, photograph, books.